It is Tuesday. Just got out the shower, shaved up, tapered down, looking good, ready for the work week. And I'm going to call these reflection walks. Just because the day before I get my work week started, I start thinking about things that have transpired over the last few days that actually stood out. And one thing that stood out was yesterday I was at my son's practice and I ran into Jay Cruz from K104. My son used to play on this basketball team years ago. Caught up a little bit. I went to the cigar lounge and came back. And when I came back to the gym, he asked me if I wanted to do an interview for the radio station. And of course, I obliged to it. And he asked me questions as far as the economy, politics, boycotts. And anybody that knows me, they know that your boy cooked up. So check that out. I believe he said it's going to drop tomorrow on K104 if you in the DFW Metroplex. It was really good. If you know how I am, who I am, you know where I stand when it comes to my political views. But when we stopped the interview, he told me that not only did he appreciate my authenticity and how real I was and how I wasn't afraid to speak my mind about the things that I care about, but the people that he interviewed before me, he could tell that they were just beating around the bush trying to be politically correct. They were trying to appease the masses. And he admired the fact that I just did not give a shit about what the masses thought. And that's what I told him. I don't care what people think. I'm just going to be me and be who I am. And I suggest you guys do the same thing. You do not have to follow the crowd. You do not have to participate in identity politics. You don't have to be a part of the herd. Sometimes it's better to be a moving target than to be a target that's just staying there with everybody else. All right. So many people are so afraid to step outside of the box and be different. And now we live in a society that people are paying attention to that. So be you, be who you are. Stop caring about what everybody thinks. As long as you can look in the mirror and you know who is staring back at you, that's the only thing that truly matters. All right? Tuesday content starts right now. Good day, good people. It's AT Malone, the first of my name because the second is already here. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more videos from your boy. Now, this is Tuesday, Preparation Tuesday. I go to work tomorrow. I'm almost done with everything on my list of things to do. As you see, I got a nice shave going on. My cars are clean. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. I don't know about you, but I cannot be driving around in a dirty ass car. It has to look good. It has to smell good. Those leather seats have to smell super fresh, like they just cut the cow and did the process to make the leather. I have to do that, man. I don't know how people can drive around with empty cups and crumbs all on the floor. And like, who wants to live in filth? Who wants to drive in filth? So clean your damn cars. Make sure that you clean your cars. Make sure that you look presentable, and it puts you in such a good mood, as well as making sure that everything around your house or your apartment is done, so you don't have to worry about it when you go to work, when you punch that clock. Those are the things that I do on a weekly basis. Even though today my son has a game at 6 o'clock, so I had to take him to the gym so he can get a good workout in before the game. So I did two-a-days in the morning as far as working out. I did my morning PSA, check that out. And then I took him to the gym. If you follow me on Instagram, you see the type of workout that we did there. So it's all preparation. And that's one of the things that I was telling him this morning on how important preparing for things are when he was doing his math, because I'm teaching him algebra now. So when the school year starts, he is ready to go. He will not have any type of issues. He's just going to go out there and kill it. But you got to make sure that you prepare your kids for what's to come. If you're not doing that, you're setting them up for failure, and you should be setting them up for success. So it's going to be a pretty busy day. I probably won't go to bed till about 11 o'clock. Got to wake up at 4, get my morning PSA done, as well as get my Wednesday morning thoughts off. So you're dealing with a machine. You're looking at a well-oiled machine. And this is not going to stop until I reach every single goal that I have on my list. So you will never see me slow up. You'll continue to see me be consistent. And as you've seen on my mini vlog that I did, this is just me. This is just who I am. I am so comfortable in my skin that I'm just going to live the life that I want to live. I don't care what people think. I'm not trying to live anybody else's life but my own. I'm creating my own legacy, and I'm building it from the ground up. All right, so you know why we are here. This is Tuesday content, and we are on the richest man in Babylon, and we are on the final chapter of the book. I broke it down into 2 parts because when I started reading this book, I thought I was going to get it knocked out all in one video, but it is so detailed because we're talking about the history of Babylon. And I said, you know what? I got to make sure that everything is detail oriented, so I can do it in 2 parts. So we're going to start this off like this. So the chapter title is called A Historical Sketch of Babylon. And in the pages of history, there was no city more glamorous than Babylon. Its treasures of gold and jewels were fabulous. You would think that the location was a place suitable of a setting with tropical luxuries, surrounded by rich natural resources of forests and mines, but it wasn't. It was located beside the Euphrates River in a flat, arid valley. No forests, no mines. The rainfall was insufficient to raise crops. Now, Babylon is an example of a man's ability to achieve great objectives using whatever means at his disposal. Everything that supported the city was man-made. Now, do you hear what I just said? Everything in the city was man-made, meaning we built the earth that people live in and enjoy today, and we continue to do this. Now, I don't know who is pulling the puppet strings of life to try to minimize what our value is as far as being a man, but let me tell you something. If this world was 100% dependent on a woman, it would be no world at all. Nothing would get built, nothing would get accomplished, and everybody would suffer. Sorry. Remember that stupid commercial, anything you can do, I can do better? Wasn't that the biggest crock of bullshit? And this is not to minimize a woman. All I'm saying is this. Men build, women nurture. All right? Men protect, women inspire. We all have roles. But the problem is we have this mixing of roles, and that's what is destroying society right now. Men think that they can transition into being a woman, which is 1000% false. You can't do it. Now, what you can do is you can play Halloween for the rest of your life, but that does not mean that we have to live in your delusion. Vice versa. Women think that they can be a man. Can never happen. I don't care how many, surgeries that you have, it's never going to happen. So guys, do not let society dictate what your value is. Because when you step outside and you see who's on those power lines, who's on top of them damn cranes, who's building infrastructure, you ain't going to see a whole bunch of women doing that shit. You're going to see a whole bunch of hard-working men doing it, all right? So you are valuable. Don't let anybody or society tell you that you're not, because you are, all right? So Babylon possessed just 2 natural resources: fertile soil and water in the river. Babylonian engineers diverted the water from the river by creating dams and irrigation canals, which gave water to the fertile soil, allowing crops to grow. This ranks among the first engineering feats known to history, but Babylon was ruled by successive lines of kings who were focused on conquest and plunder. They engaged in many wars locally, and conquerors from other countries who wanted treasures of Babylon. So the same thing basically happens today. I mean, look at all of these proxy wars that go on, like we're trying to save a group of people from tyranny and all of this crap. 9 times out of 10, a lot of these proxy wars are because we want some natural resources from a different country that we don't have here, and we just mask it behind something that people can, get behind or stand up against. There always has to be a bad guy or some type of evil figure there, but we just want the natural resources. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. All right. So let's continue. So the outstanding rulers of Babylon lived in history because of their wisdom, enterprise, and justice. Babylon produced no monarchs who sought to conquer the known world. So even though they fought in all of these wars, they were basically kind of defending themselves in a sense, because everybody wanted the things that they had, right? So today, the city of Babylon doesn't exist. No fertile fields, no caravans of rich merchandise, just arid waste. For centuries, it was considered to be nothing else until archaeologists found broken pieces of pottery and bricks washed down by the occasional rainstorm. Many scientists consider Babylon and other cities in this valley to be the oldest. Dates have been proved reaching back 8,000 years ago. That's a long time, man. So this date was determined by uncovering ruins of Babylon. There were descriptions of an eclipse of the sun, so astronomers computed the time of the eclipse visible in Babylon, establishing a relationship between their calendar and our own. That's how they proved the 8,000 years. So the Sumerites inhabited Babylonia. They were educated and enlightened people. They were the first engineers, the first astronomers, the first mathematicians, the first financiers, and the first people to have a written language. So they were basically completely self-sufficient. They taught themselves all of these things, and they were able to build up Babylon to being the richest city in the world. All right. So not only were they the first documented city, but they were very successful. All right. And this is what I want to end this with, because I stopped right here. You do not have to be a Alexander the Great, a Napoleon. You don't have to be, a Caesar to etch your name in history. You don't have to be a conqueror or, one of these warmonger figures. Sometimes you have guys like Nikola Tesla, you have Thomas Edison, you have Albert Einstein, you have Plato, you have Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. These guys were geniuses. They were artists, they were creators, they were mathematicians, they were philosophers. These guys were scientists as well. So don't think, guys, that you got to do something physical or something violent to etch your name in stone. I know everybody wants to be an athlete, right? They want to go to the pros, they want to go to the league. But these figures that we watch on TV dribbling or throwing a ball, these guys are not running the world. You want to know who's running the world? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs. Even though he's dead, his legacy still lives on. All right. We have the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world. These guys are running the world. Bill Gates, they are. And these guys are nerds. They're dweebs. You can tell they was getting no play when they were in school. But now guess what? They're multi-billionaires. They have etched their name in stone forever. And they are running the world as we speak. So we have to really start propping up these engineers, these guys that are scientists, these innovators a lot more than content creators or, you know, athletes or actors. We got to start paying attention for, you know, our kids to go into these STEM programs, because they could be brilliant minds and we don't know it. But if we don't push them towards that direction, how do we actually know? All right. Well, that is Tuesday content, and I'm gonna finish this book off next week, man. It's kind of sad that it's ending, but listen, we got another book that we got to review and break down, and I'm looking forward to it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.
Feel like they tryna box me in, so I keep a small circle around me so